Hello, Michael. Hello po.
Hello, loud and clear po.
Hello po. Sound check. Hello.
Hello, loud and clear po.
Yes
Hello?
po, loud and clear, loud and clear.
Uy. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. Malinaw po yung sound, sir.
Yes,
po.
loud and clear po, sir.
Malinaw naman po. Malinaw.
Yes po.
Yes po, loud and clear, sir.
Sound check. Okay, thank you po, sir.
You're welcome po.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be your host for today's momentous celebration, the formal launching ceremony of the revised model law curriculum and the clinical legal education program website. On behalf of the Legal Education Board, we would like to express our gratitude and warmest welcome to all. I am Attorney Maria Romina Gumal, Program Coordinator of the Legal Education Board. Today, I am also delighted to acknowledge the following esteemed personalities and representatives from our valued stakeholders that are gracing us of their presence. We have former Antonio Abad Jr., former Deputy Court Administrator Leo Tolentino Madrazo, ALSP National President Mr. Kenny Bayudan, Director of Law of Human Rights with the Aish Foundation, Ms. Caroline Mercado. Once again, on behalf of the Legal Education Board, we welcome you all to this momentous celebration. So before we start, may I invite everybody to, to ask for the blessing and the intervention of God Almighty through an invocation which will be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Our Heavenly Father, the fount of all goodness and grace, the cause of wisdom, the source of intelligence, we welcome you, O Lord, to this auspicious gathering of your beloved, who continuously give you thanks for every opportunity to learn something new and become fruitful to the works of your creation. We humbly come to you, not because we are worthy, but because we find ourselves in need of you, who is our strength and our hope, to continue despite the challenges we face in health, prosperity, and our solidarity with one another. We pray that today's gathering, made possible by the grace of advancements in technology and social media, become successful in its endeavors, so we can offer it back to you as our humble offering to honor you, glorify you, and love you through our deeper connection with everyone. May we find bliss in today's session and become more productive children and co-creators of the earth. This we ask and pray through Christ our Lord. Amen.
To formally open today's celebration, let us hear from the chairperson of the Curriculum Revision Committee, Commissioner Abelardo T. Dumondon, as he delivers his opening remarks. Let us give him his virtual applause.
Good afternoon. Good
Commi-
afternoon. Mr. Chief Justice Alexander Mundo, current and former members of the Supreme Court, as well as current and former members of the judiciary who are present today, the LEP chairperson, my fellow commissioners, law deans, the professors, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Before I start, I would like to express my gratitude and heartfelt thanks to certain individuals and certain organizations for having made possible the revised model curriculum, as well as the launching of this project. I call this project again, not the revised model curriculum, but its acronym REMOLAC. So when I refer to REMOLAC, I'm referring actually to the revised model curriculum. The legal education community is indebted to former LEB Chair Emerson Akende, who during his term of office had the vision and insight to organize and create the Curriculum Revision Committee. This was even before initiatives were called for the purpose by the Legal Education Summit. So Chair Emer, salamat po sa inyo. We'll always remember you. Another person I would like to acknowledge is former LEB OIC Chairperson, Seni Elepaño. She was the one who was solely dedicated and had hard work and fully cognizant of the fact that we are supposed to meet deadlines. And she was the one actually who provided all the impetus for the completion of the project. It was during her watch that there was enacted and released by us LEBMO number 24, the model law curriculum. Without her, I don't think we have been able to come up with this particular project. Ma'am Seni, will always be grateful to you. We will not forget you, especially your tough luck for all of us. Again, he said, we'll always be grateful to you. There are also other persons, again, I would like to thank. I would like to thank our current chairperson, Melanie Trinidad, who made again possible this launching. Madam Chair, thank you and more power. There are also other two persons I would like to recognize and would not forget. And I would like to mention number one, former Justice Art Brion. Without Justice Art, who was the first chairperson of the Curriculum Revision Committee, we would have guidelines we would have founded along the way. And that's why when you look at the final output, the Remolak, you would see his handiwork there. His handprint is there, although you would say probably he did not participate actively during the proceedings, but again, he was the one who laid all the guidelines for us to follow. And then, of course, we have the Vice Chair of the Revised Model Curriculum Committee, Commissioner Jojo Serrati. Commissioner Jojo Serrati brought to the committee her years of experience as a law dean, as well as what she got from the Legal Education Summit, because she was very active in her participation in that particular activity. She was the one who also was the balancing factor insofar as conflicting views between the members of the committee is concerned. So Jojo, the Legal Education Committee, OCU. Then we look at the organization. Foremost, of course, is the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court at one time, as all of you are familiar, called for the Legal Education Summit. And among the outposts of the Legal Education Summit, called for initiatives to revise the model curriculum. And that is why when you look at the membership of the CRC, you look at the membership again of the committee, you would notice that most of them have been members and attendees of the Legal Education Summit. I will not mention the names, I'll mention the names later on, but rest assured when I tell you that most of them, especially again our Vice Chairperson, have been very active in pursuance of the objectives of the Legal Education Summit, and this revised model law curriculum is one of them. Of course, we have the committee itself, without whom this would not have been possible, but I would like to again to acknowledge them separately later on. The committee could not operate without a secretariat, and our secretariat was composed of staff members from UP Law Center as well as the Legal Education Board, and they will also, as said, be acknowledged separately. The UP Law Center conducted the preliminary work, including research activities, conducting, of course, the focus group discussions, and consequently, they did all the preparatory work prior to the actual meetings of the committee. And again, lest I forget, we have two sponsors who have been helping us along the way, not only with regard to the CLEP and revised model law curriculum, but also some activities of LEB. And I'm referring to the Asia Foundation, represented by the country director, Mr. Sam Chitik. And also I'm referring to the U.S. Embassy through Ms. Ella Cummins, Kelia Cummins, sorry, Enforcement Affairs Officer, Director. And without them, again, as I said, we could have done it, but it's going to be a hard struggle. To the two groups, again, we thank you for being the kuya that has helped us along the way. By the way, kuya is an elder brother, as my co-commissioner finally calls me. The elder brother is supposed to help, and that's what the two agencies have actually done for us. They've given their help as our elder brothers. Now, in essence, what does the model law curriculum do? What does the Remolak do? Now, the Remolak treats the law students as adult learners, who are mostly part-timers. And therefore, it's providing them with foundational mindsets, knowledge, skills, and attitudes to enable them to engage in lifelong learning. Now, this is going to be very important for us because we have came up with the learning outcomes insofar as first year, second year, third year, and fourth year are concerned. Some of you probably would not agree with me. But as far as I'm concerned, I believe that for the first year, the trust is to provide the student with a basic understanding of the law. In short, what the law is and what it ought to be. That's why legal ethics is offered as a first year, first semester subject. From second year to third year, the trust now is different. It's going to be how the law is used in problem solving. Specifically, that's why LEB is offered starting the second semester, second year per semester. And the fourth year is merely again for the purpose of training the student to pass the bar. There is not going to be a reading from first year to third year subjects, but basically using the Pareto principle, determine the areas of concern for the bar, what are the areas that are usually the subject of the bar exams, and then teaching them how to articulate the answers properly. So you notice then that this is actually revolutionary. Another concept that I would like to discuss with you is the fact that the Curriculum Revision Committee has been made a standing committee of the board. Why? Because there have been and will always be numerous changes in the environment. And therefore, our curriculum should not be that static, otherwise it will come the way of the dinosaurs. So we made it a standing committee. Why? So that again, there will be immediate reaction insofar as changes in the environment are concerned, in order to make our curriculum vibrant and living and also of use to the community. So thank you very much and good day to everybody.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Dumondon, for a very warm message. Indeed, this large ceremony will not be possible had it not been for the support of the people behind it. At this juncture, we shall now come to one of the highlights of our celebration as we hear a message from our keynote speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to introduce our keynote speaker and guest for today, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, Chief Justice Alexander G. Yusmundo. A virtual applause for the Chief Justice, please.
Chairperson of the Legal Education Board, Attorney Ana Marie Melanie Bacani Trinidad, the LEB Commissioners, Commissioner Josepe Sorera T, Commissioner Lorenzo Reheliana Reyes, Commissioner Abelardo T. Dumondon, Commissioner Alexander Diamla Dumpa, retired Chief Justice Lucas T. Bersamin, represented by Attorney Leonardo A. Cervantes, retired Chief Justice Diosdado M. Peralta, Court of Appeals Justice Maria Pilomena Singh, expert resource person for the Curriculum Review Committee, Ms. Kilia Cummins, Director, International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, U.S. Department of State, Mr. Sam Shitty, Country Representative, the Asia Foundation, Justice Zenaida Elepaño, former Commissioner of LEB, Attorney Bert Estrada, National President, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Dean Hemi Lito Pestin, President, Philippine Association of Law Schools, Dean Maria Soledad Derequito Mawis, Chairperson, Philippine Association of Law Schools, Mr. Kenneth Bayudan, President, Association of Law Students of the Philippines, distinguished deans, professors, and other members of the legal education community. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today is historic. For generations, we have been witness to the terrible attrition rates in the Philippine bar examinations. In an effort to address this, the legal education community has repeatedly reformulated the law curriculum, broadening perspectives, deepening knowledge, and enhancing skill sets, all in the hope that the studentry will be better equipped for and ultimately pass the bar examinations. Though many factors have contributed to this problem, and many solutions have been attempted, the root that entangles them all is bar centricity. Practice readiness became secondary, following the plain logic that unless a student passes the bar, he or she cannot practice. Today, we break this cycle. The revised model curriculum that we are formally launching today is a decisive step away from bar centricity. At this point, allow me to thank Associate Justice Arturo Brion, the first chairperson of the committee, Commissioner Jojo Sorera T, Vice Chairperson, Dean Fides Cordero Tan, Dean Joan S. Largo, and Dean Virgilio de los Reyes, members of the committee, together with Court of Appeals Associate Justice Philomena D. Singh as the expert resource person for the Curriculum Review Committee. Let me also acknowledge the members of the Secretariat, Attorney Glenda B. Bitong, Attorney Maria Tanya Katrina Eilat, and Attorney Jellery F. Gallego. I hope that everyone in the legal education community understands the significance of the adoption of the revised model curriculum. This is the Philippine legal education community taking a stand and sending an equivocal message that henceforth legal education will be primarily student and society centered, as it should be. Passing the bar examination will be the result of implementing the revised model curriculum rather than the object. Thus, we see the tremendous effort of the Curriculum Revision Committee to rethink the best possible formulation, combination, and sequencing of courses and credits, as well as the introduction of new subjects that reflects the developments in society, locally and internationally. I'm particularly elated to note that a course entitled Judicial Mind has been included in the list of suggested electives in the modern curriculum, hopefully as a first step to the introduction of a full judiciary track in law schools. Because I sincerely believe in the great good that the adoption of the revised model curriculum will bring, as early as May of this year, shortly after my assumption as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, during the public consultation on the then draft revised model curriculum, I have already committed to push for the revision of Rule 138, particularly Section 5, which prescribes the completion of certain mandatory courses for applicants to the bar examination. These courses need to be revisited in view of the ever-changing needs and the evolving definition of law practice, for which the law curriculum is the vehicle for preparedness. For instance, we must finally address the question of whether taxation should be a mandatory course and a standalone bar subject. I am fully aware that the issue of bar centricity is largely driven by Rule 138, as well as the wide discretion of the designated bar chairperson as to the coverage of the bar examination, on the basis of which the bar questions are formulated. I will continue to actively work with the Supreme Court Technical Working Group on bar reform, chaired by Associate Justice Ramon Paul Hernando, and with all of you, our legal education partners, until we are able to finally reverse the present cycle. From the law curriculum, adapting to the court-issued rules, to the bar examination being administered based on the law curriculum developed by legal educators, the experts on the matter. There can be no more resounding endorsement of academic freedom than this. The other reason why we are gathered today is to launch the Clinical Legal Education Program CLEP website. Please allow me to acknowledge the efforts of the members of the committee in charge of this project: Attorney Aaron Di Maano, Attorney Caroline Mercado, Attorney Fatima Garcia, Mr. Gilliard Tof Lamug, and Ms. Veronica Cruz. You will remember that on June 25, 2019, the Supreme Court adopted AM number 19-03-24-SC, the new law student practice rule, revising Rule 138 of the Rules of Court. The LEB relatively issued Memo Order number 23, Series of 2020, the guidelines for the integration of clinical legal education in the basic curriculum. The new Rule 138-A institutionalized what we now officially call the Clinical Legal Education Program, or CLEP, as a mandatory requirement for all law schools across the country. Through the CLEP, we endeavor to expose our law students early to hands-on and experiential learning in an effort not only to develop their skills, but purposefully to stimulate and enhance their social consciousness. Let me acknowledge the present and past members of the Supreme Court Oversight Committee that drafted the revised Rule 138-A and now oversee the smooth implementation of the revised rule. Judge Carla A. Puntila Abugan, Commissioner Josepe Herrera T., Judge Rigor R. Pascual, Dean Joan S. Largo, Dean Alicendi Ditucalan, Dean Domnina Rances, Attorney Charisma Nolasco, Judge Ellen Abisamis Quinto, Attorney Dorothy Peralta, Dean Eduardo Sanson, and Attorney Micaela Ros Fernandez. Our duty is not only to graduate law students, not just to ensure that they pass the bar examination. Certainly, not just to populate the courts with more lawyers. Our duty is to foster an environment during law studies which will spawn the next generation of lawyers who are not only practice ready, but who are equally prepared to assume the role of servant leaders in our country. Since the adoption of CLEP, 49 legal clinics have been established nationwide. Moreover, a total of 25 law schools have received their respective certifications, while a total of 10 law schools have pending applications for certification. With the launching today of the CLEP website, we see these numbers growing even further as information related to CLEP and the process of certification for law student practitioners is mainstream. More importantly, the website will now provide a platform to showcase model law school clinics and CLEP best practices that will assuredly provide guidance and inspiration to those of us who are still in the infancy of our clinical education journey. Legal education is a pillar that, together with judicial education, holds up the very firmament of the Philippine legal system. Needless to say, the Supreme Court is highly invested in elevating the standards of legal education in our country. Through the SC Committee on Legal Education, I assure you that the Supreme Court will continuously stay attuned and responsive to the issues and needs of all the stakeholders in the field of legal education. The revised model curriculum and the clinical legal education program are just the beginning. I look forward to, with great anticipation, to more trailblazing changes in the coming days. My hearty congratulations to the Legal Education Board, the Chairperson and the Commissioners, and to the Curriculum Revision Committee for leading the way. Lastly, allow me to thank our development partners who are supporting our endeavors to improve legal education in the country. Ms. Philia Cummins, Director of the Legal Specialist, and Attorney Chad Ningo. Mr. Sam Shitik, Country Representative of the Asia Foundation. Thank you and good day to all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice, for that very inspiring message. We thank you for your unwavering support to the programs of the Legal Education Board towards the upliftment of the legal education sector in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now come to the main part of today's event, which is the formal launch of the revised model law curriculum and the clinical legal education program website. May we please welcome on our virtual floor our chairperson of the Legal Education Board, Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. Chair, our virtual floor is now yours.
Thank you, Attorney Gumal. Honorable Chief Justice Alexander G. Gesmundo, Associate Justices of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals, present and past, esteemed deans and administrators of law colleges and universities, and everyone here today, good afternoon. Projects such as the Clinical Legal Education Program, or CLEP, and the Revised Model Curriculum, or RMC, remind us of our role as proponents of legal education, of what we owe to one another as partners and stakeholders in the pursuit thereof, and what we owe the present and future generation of law students. And what we owe them is a program of study that is responsive to the rapidly changing times and adaptable to their ever increasing curiosity. I would like to give full credit once again to our very own Honorable Commissioner Josefe Sorera T, who has been CLEP's driving force since the beginning, working with her committee, as well as our CLEP partner, the Asia Foundation, with the support from the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs Office. CLEP is a program that helps law students help others, giving life to that old adage we learned in law school that those who have less in life should have more in law. As to the revised model curriculum, while the Honorable Commissioner Abelardo T. Dumondon has given due credit to former Chairman Emerson Aquende for conceptualizing the revised model curriculum, and of course to Justice Zenaida Elepaño for seeing through it, as he is not one to do, he has not discussed his role, he has not given credit to himself in this achievement. So I would like to emphasize the hard work, the indefatigable hard work that Commissioner Abelardo has given into this. We call it the revised model curriculum because it is exactly that, a model, a prototype if you may. In designing this model, the committee took into consideration the user requirements with the end in goal that it would produce an engaging and dynamic law curriculum. After today's launching, the revised model curriculum will be viewed by new eyes, new sets of eyes, your eyes, and it will be judged from the point of view of user experience. We believe, however, that the core architecture of this curriculum is both sturdy and flexible, so you may build around it within the allowable parameters, tempered only by good faith, good foresight, and of course, sound judgment in the exercise of that all too treasured academic freedom. On behalf of the Legal Education Board, with gratitude, sincerity, and affection, I thank each and every one of you for gracing this afternoon's event with your presence. Again, a pleasant afternoon to all.
Thank you very much, Chairperson Trinidad, and congratulations to the whole Legal Education Board and to the legal education community. With that, for everyone to further appreciate the revised model law curriculum and the Clinical Legal Education Program website, we have prepared an audio-visual presentation of the said programs. May I invite everybody to their screen as we enjoy the following video presentations.
The revised model law curriculum modernizes legal education by improving on tested elements and introducing innovations both in course design and pedagogy. It aims to achieve the important balance in shepherding academic freedom and government supervision over legal education towards the public interest in the development of excellent, ethical, and innovative legal professionals committed to the rule of law. Here are the key changes introduced in the revised model law curriculum. Reduced total minimum academic load. Rationalized and updated mandated courses. Earlier interface with procedural law courses. Implementable as a ladderized program. Specialization through academic tracking. CLEP fully integrated. The revised model law curriculum is part of continuing reforms in improving legal education in the Philippines and a humble step towards national progress and upholding the rule of law. The revised model law curriculum is targeted for implementation in academic year 2021-2022.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for more information on the revised model law curriculum, you may visit the official website page of the Legal Education Board at lev.gov.ph. To access the portal for information on the revised Rule 138-A, please visit www.clep.ph. To this end, let us all hear it from our partner organization who supported us in the institutionalization of the clinical legal education program. Let us welcome in our virtual floor the country representative of the Asia Foundation. We are delighted to have with us today Mr. Sam Chittick.
Thank you, Attorney Gumal, for the introduction. And it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon with everyone. To the Honorable Chief Justice, Alexander Gizmundo, and the current and former justices of the court who are joining, good afternoon. Particular welcome or greetings to the honorable members of the Legal Education Board with whom we are lucky to partner. The Honorable Chair, Anna Marie Melanie Bacani Trinidad, to Commissioner Honorable Josefe Sorority, to Commissioner Honorable Lorenzo Regilana Reyes, to Commissioner Honorable Abelardo de Mondon. Thank you for those introductory remarks outlining the issues earlier today, and to Honorable Commissioner Alexander Dumpa. I'd also like to note the presence this afternoon of Honorable Associate Justice Maria Filomena Singh, the Deputy Court Administrator Leo Madrazo. We also have present, and it's important to note, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines being represented through President Attorney Bert Estrada, the Philippine Association of Law Schools, President Dean Jemmy Festin, the Association of Law Schools of the Philippines, President Kenneth Baduyan. We're lucky to have the former LEB Chair, Attorney Emerson Akende. So to all of those, thank you for your presence and continued partnership. I also wanted to recognize some members who are here from the Supreme Court Oversight Committee on the implementation of the revised law student practice rule, members of the Curriculum Revision Committee, and to my colleagues from the Asia Foundation who've been working in support of these efforts for many years, particularly Attorney Carol Mercado. And a special mention to our partners in this endeavor from the Department of State, Attorney Kelia Cummins and Attorney Chutney No. Thank you for the continued cooperation and partnership. And lastly, to all of the everyone who's joining from law schools across the country, the law deans and all of the other colleagues and partners who are invested in legal aid and legal education across the country. Thank you for joining. The reason for wanting to speak this afternoon is to congratulate the Legal Education Board for the launch of the revised model law curriculum and the Clinical Legal Education Program website. We've heard all about it from the other speakers, and they highlight, the importance of why these two measures or these two initiatives are so critically important. From our perspective, the revised model law curriculum really helps to push the modernization of legal education by improving tested elements and introducing innovations, both in terms of course design and also in pedagogy. It really attempts to achieve that balance, which is so essential between academic freedom and government supervision over legal education for the public interest, so that we have quality education in developing excellent ethical and innovative legal professionals committed to the rule of law. And I note from the comments from Chair Trinidad, that's a particular focus of the Legal Education Board moving forward. The website, the Clinical Legal Education Program website, which is being launched, is designed to be a one-stop portal for all the relevant information, training, resource materials for CLEP and the revised law student practice rule. Since that revised rule took effect in academic year 2020, really useful information for stakeholders been lodged in a range of different platforms. So aside from the CLEP training program, the learning management system that integrates that information, there hasn't been one channel that the stakeholders can go to get relevant information. So we hope that this CLEP website consolidates all the information in one portal and will help to make access simpler and more efficient. It's not only envisaged to be a repository of information, but also a facilitator of robust dialogue amongst the CLEP practitioners and stakeholders. And hopefully one day in the future, it can be one of the public's gateways to accessible legal services rendered by law schools nationwide. So we from the Asia Foundation commit to continue our support for the Legal Education Board and the other stakeholders of Clinical Legal Education Program in building strong foundations for the improvement of access to justice and strengthening the rule of law in the Philippines through these law clinics, not just through the revised model law curriculum and the website, but also in other areas for coordination and collaboration. I note in Chair Trinidad's remarks earlier about the importance of creating more rounded and grounded lawyers if they can engage in the opportunities that clinical legal education programs offer. We also want to acknowledge the invaluable and essential support from the United States Department of State, represented here by Kilia Cummins, both for their funding, but also for the partnership in long-term issues that will help to improve the quality and access to justice for all Filipinos. So from the team at the Asia Foundation, we're emphasizing our continued support for this work in legal education. And we also wanted to say a great thanks to the more than 60 law schools across the country who have agreed to partner us for the development of their CLEP and their law clinics. And we look forward to more law schools joining in that journey. We will continue to contribute to the efforts of the Supreme Court, led by current Chief Justice Gizmundo, the LEB, the law schools across the country, to really help build a strong network of legal aid service providers among the law clinics and help them to share their experiences, their best practices, and their challenges. Obviously, connection and technology sharing are important tools that are changing and evolving all the time, and we can harness those to expand and deepen the opportunities for all law students. And I think the website being launched today is a good example of that. We on our side also look forward to the sharing of stories from law schools across the country, which can then be put onto the platform and shared as examples and an inspiration to others. I look forward to this continued journey and the opportunities that it exists. Thank you again for the partnership which you have extended to us, and we're very grateful to be part of this journey. Mabuhay.
Thank you very much, sir, for your unwavering support to the Clinical Legal Education Program and to your dedication to support the legal education sector in the Philippines. Moving on, giving another message of support from the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs Office of the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines, we have their director, Ms. Kilia Cummins. Our big virtual applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. It is my great pleasure to be with you all today for the launch of the revised model curriculum and clinical legal education program website, organized, of course, by our partners, the Legal Education Board and the Asia Foundation. I am Kelia Cummins, and I am Director of the Office of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs at the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. We are also known as INL. I am truly honored to be with many, many distinguished guests, speakers, and partners on the line with us today, and I would like to acknowledge a few of them. Honorable Chief Justice Alexander Gizmundo, Associate Justice Maria Filomena D. Singh, Deputy Court Administrator Leo Madrazo, and from the Legal Education Board, Chair Honorable Anna Marie Melanie Bacani Trinidad, Commissioner Josefe Sorera Tai, Commissioner Honorable Abelardo D. Domondon, Commissioner Lorenzo Regiliana Reyes, Commissioner Alexander Dumpa, the Honorable Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, President Attorney Bert Estrada, the Philippine Association of Law Schools Dean Jemmy Lito Festin, Alternative Legal Service Provider President Kenneth Bayudan, our partner, the Asia Foundation Country Rep, Mr. Sam Chidik, members of the Curriculum Revision Committee, and esteemed law deans and colleagues in legal aid. Thank you all for your attendance and participation today. I'm happy to have joined you today as representative of INL, which is a very proud supporter and sponsor of the revised model curriculum and the clinical education website. Worldwide, my office, INL, supports programs that help to build and expand capacity and also craft and execute policies that benefit the criminal justice system. INL was, for example, very heavily involved in ensuring the adoption in 2012 of the UN Principles and Guidelines on Access to Legal Aid in Criminal Justice Systems. And since then, the United States has been a strong advocate for its implementation through diplomatic engagement and programmatic activities such as this. This is part of the reason we're here today. We're standing with you in support of evolving legal education with a goal of improving the knowledge and the skills of the next generation of legal professionals, all while increasing access to justice. With the incorporation of the Clinical Legal Education Program course into law curriculum, students can now benefit from hands-on experience and expand their professional networks, all while providing critical legal services to real clients. As a young law student, once upon a time, I also benefited from clinical legal education. It really opened my eyes to the inner workings of the legal system, and it gave me real-time exposure to the challenges our clients encountered while navigating the legal system. Thus, I can say both professionally and personally that these efforts are truly worthy of commendation and our support. So congratulations to the Legal Education Board, the Supreme Court, the Bar, PALS, legislators, and everyone involved in the launch of the website as a one-stop portal for training, also providing resource materials and for envisioning and executing the revisions to this curricula. During this global pandemic, websites such as this will be an invaluable tool for everyone. I am very grateful for and appreciate this opportunity to work with you all on justice sector programs. And I look forward to our continued progress on enhancing access to justice and transforming legal education. With that, salamat po, mabuhay tayong lahat.
Salamat din, Director Cummins, and we thank you for your unwavering support to the clinical education program. Now, to express our gratitude for the steadfast support of the people behind the success of the revised model law curriculum and the clinical legal education program website, we have here with us on behalf of the board, Chairperson Trinidad, to present this plaque of appreciation to Chief Justice Alexander G. Gismundo. Supreme Court of the Philippines, for sharing his invaluable time and support as keynote speaker during the launch ceremony of the revised model law curriculum and the clinical legal education program, or CLEP website, held via Zoom and given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines, by the authority of the Legal Education Board, signed by Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad, chairperson of the LEB. Thank you, Chief Justice, for your presence today. To recognize also the key person behind the revised model law curriculum, the Legal Education Board award this plaque of commendation to Justice Arturo D. Brion for being the first chairperson for the 2020 to 2021 Lab Curriculum Revision Committee, for sharing his valuable expertise, competence, time, and effort in actively participating in the activities of the 2020 to 2021 Curriculum Revision Committee, for crafting the revised model law curriculum. His meritorious participation contributed to the expeditious release of the draft RMLC that was subsequently presented to the general public for, for consultation and given final approval by the LEB for implementation by accredited law schools in the country. Given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines, signed by Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad, Chairperson of the Legal Education Board. Paving the way for the crafting of the revised model law curriculum. The board also award this plaque of appreciation, plaque of commendation to Justice Maria Filomena D.C. as expert resource person for the 2020 to 2021 Lab Curriculum Revision Committee for sharing her invaluable expertise, competence, time, and effort in actively participating in the activities of the 2020 to 2021 Curriculum Revision Committee for crafting the revised model law curriculum. Her meritorious participation contributed to the expeditious release of the draft RMLC that was subsequently presented to the general public for consultation and was given final approval by LEB for implementation of the accredited law schools in the country. Given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, signed by the authority of the Legal Education Board by Chairperson Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. Thank you, Justice Singh. Moving on, the Legal Education Board also present this plaque of commendation to the members of the Curriculum Revision Committee. The Legal Education Board present this plaque of commendation to Dean Joanne S. Largo, member of the 2020 to 2021 Lab Curriculum Revision Committee, for sharing her invaluable expertise, competence, time, and effort in actively participating in the activity of the 2020 to 2021 Curriculum Revision Committee, for crafting the revised model law curriculum. Her meritorious participation contributed also to the expeditious release of the draft RMLC that was subsequently presented to the general public for consultation and given final approval by LEB for implementation by accredited law schools in the country. And given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines, signed by Chairperson Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. Congratulations, Dean. The same citation is also awarded to Dean Virgilio R. de los Reyes, member of the 2020 to 2021 Lab Curriculum Revision Committee. A virtual applause for Dean Hill. Thank you, Dean Hill. Similarly, with the same citation, the Legal Education Board award this plaque of commendation to Dean Fedez Cordero Tan, member of the 2020 to 2021 Lab Curriculum Revision Committee. Congratulations, Dean Tan, and thank you for your support to the legal education sector. recognizing also the vital contributions of the members of the curriculum revision. Apologies. Paving the way for the crafting of the revised model law curriculum, the board also awarded this plaque of appreciation to the former chairman of the Legal Education Board, Chairman Emerson B. Akende, for being the for his unwavering commitment and visionary action in the field of legal education, leading the board in conducting an empirical study together with the University of the Philippines Law Center and paving the way for the crafting of the revised model law curriculum, undoubtedly contributing to the formulation of new generation of excellent, ethical, and innovative legal professional. Given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines, signed by Chairperson of the Legal Education Board, Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. Thank you, former Chairman Akende. The board also acknowledged the unwavering commitment and visionary action of former Commissioner Zenaida N. Elepaño for her unwavering commitment and visionary action in the field of legal education, leading the board as officer in charge in the crafting of the revised model law curriculum and championing in the importance of gender sensitivity and training, which is geared toward the formation of new generation of excellent, ethical, and innovative legal profession. Given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, signed by Chairperson Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. And now, we recognize the member of the Secretariat of the Curriculum Revision Committee who helped the committee in drafting the revised model law curriculum. The Legal Education Board award this plaque of commendation to Attorney Glenda T. Litong, member of the Secretariat for the 2020 to 2021 LEB Curriculum Revision Committee, for sharing her invaluable expertise, competence, time, and effort in actively participating in the activities of the 2020 to 2021 Curriculum Revision Committee for crafting the revised model law curriculum. Her meritorious participation contributed to the expeditious release of the draft RMLC that was subsequently presented to the general public for consultation and was given final approval by LEB for implementation of accredited law schools in the country. Given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines, and signed by Chairperson Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. Congratulations, Attorney Glenda. The same citation is also awarded to Attorney Tanya Karina A. Lat, also a member of the Secretariat for 2020 to 2021 LEB Curriculum Revision Committee. Thank you, Attorney Tanya, for your valuable contribution. Also, with the same citation, we award this plaque of commendation to Attorney Jallery F. Gallego for being a member of the Secretariat for the 2020 to 2021 LEB Curriculum Revision Committee. Thank you very much, Attorney Gallego. And now, to award our partner institution, we present this plaque of appreciation to the Office of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, U.S. Embassy in the Philippines, for the organization's significant commitment and exemplary contribution as a partner of the Legal Education Board in the institutionalization of the Clinical Legal Education Program, which is geared towards developing the Philippine legal education sector and extending access to justice for the underprivileged and underrepresented. Given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines, signed by Chairperson Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. Lastly, the Legal Education Board also awarded this plaque of appreciation to the Asia Foundation to be received by its country representative, Mr. Sam Chitik, for the organization's significant commitment and exemplary contribution as a partner of the Legal Education Board in the institutionalization of the clinical legal education program, which is geared towards developing the Philippine legal education sector and extending access to justice to the underrepresented and the marginalized in the country. Given this 14th day of October 2021 in Quezon City, signed by Chairperson Ana Marie Melanie B. Trinidad. The physical plaque will be sent to your respective office after today's event. We congratulate once again and express our deepest thanks to everyone and every one of our partners and to those who attended this significant and very momentous celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, before we close their celebration, allow us to capture your smile and document your presence in this significant occasion. To this end, may I please request everyone to open your camera and show us your most pleasant smile as our technical committee take a screenshot of everybody. And since we are in a big group, we shall conduct this photo session per batch. So please bear with us. All right. For the first batch, 1, 2, 3. And then to the next, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. And lastly, 1, 2, 3. All right. Indeed, it is true when they say that nothing you wear is more important than your smile. And I hope everybody was able to wear that smile in their celebration for today's momentous achievement. Now, to formally close the program, may we call in the Vice Chairperson of the Curriculum Revision Committee, Commissioner Josefe C. Sorera T. Commissioner Sorera T., the virtual floor is now yours.
Thank you very much, Mary, and thank you for unmuting me. Chief Justice Alexander Gesmundo, Justice Monet Singh, Deputy Court Administrator Leo Madrazo, Chair Ana Marie Melanie Trinidad, Commissioners Abelardo Domondon, Lorenzo Reyes, and Alexander Dumpa, former Chair of the Legal Education Board, Emerson Akende, former commissioners of the LEB who are with us today, Commissioner Antonio Abad Jr. and Commissioner Justine Songkang, Director Kilia Cummins, Mr. Sam Chitik, Attorney Carol Mercado, PALS President Jim Festin, ALSP President Kelly Bayudan, Attorney Chudningo, members of the Curriculum Review Committee and the Oversight Committee, honored guests, fellow legal educators, good afternoon. A few years back, during one of our knowledge sharing activities in the Philippine Association of Law Schools, Dean Joan Largo shared to us legal educators the view of Justice Felix Frankfurter on law schools. Justice Frankfurter, as quoted by Dean Joan, stated that the law is, in the last analysis, what the lawyers are. And the lawyers are what the law schools make them. This quote captures the empowering characteristic of legal education. Indeed, legal education can weaken or strengthen the rule of law. It can make or break our dream of a society of justice and peace. And it can also form, to borrow the words of our Chief Justice, form servant lawyers. The launching of the revised model curriculum and the CLEP website is a testament of our collective efforts as members of the legal education community to ensure that legal education will assume its chief purpose, which is to develop within a refined ethical framework the analytical and empirical skills necessary to further justice and peace in the world. In behalf of the Legal Education Board, I would like to extend the board's gratitude to all of you who are present today for your continued dedication and commitment to the goals of legal education. Thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you very much for that, Commissioner Sorarati. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We arrive at the end of our celebration. Once again, on behalf of the Legal Education Board, we thank everybody for attending and showing support to the launch of the revised model law curriculum, the Clinical Legal Education Program website, as well as to all other programs of the board. To the Legal Education Board family, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Attorney Maria Romina Gumal. See you the next time and please stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.